The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. It might take her a hot second to get to the point.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
But it'll be worth it. It's News-ish with Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
I've got a crazy story to tell you, and be prepared because your flabber will be gasted. Here we go. There was a family. They were traveling with their two sons, and they realized before they were getting on their flight, wait a minute, one of our sons, his passport is expired. He needs a visa to travel on this flight.
How do you not look at that months in advance?
I don't know. So they decide, instead of missing out on this flight, they're going to leave their son at the airport. Now, keep in mind, this boy is only 10 years old. And then the mom, the dad, and the other son get on the flight.
That's insanity. This is Home Alone, playing out.
Well, and you might be thinking, how could they do that? Well, they justified it by saying, we're going to call a relative, and they're going to come and pick up our 10-year-old son from the airport. Okay. So they get on the flight. Well, the 10-year-old son is sitting there waiting for this relative to pick them up, and airport workers notice that this 10-year-old boy is all by himself.
Case in point, too, like somebody just shows up to the airport. They haven't told anybody they're doing this. And then somebody goes, I need to go in there to pick up my nephew. Really? You do? Yeah. You don't have a ticket. You're not getting in there.
Right.
They've thought none of this through.
Yeah, I don't know how any of this was able to work. But anyways, so the airport workers noticed this 10-year-old boy by himself. And before the parents' flight could take off, they noticed this little boy. And so they make an announcement on the flight. And they're like, did someone leave their kid at the airport?
Usually it's like an iPad or something.
Right. No one raises their hand.
Of course not.
Okay. But then they were able to track down this boy's parents. Oh. They take them and their other son off the flight, take them straight to the cops. And they're like, what makes you think that this was okay?
Yeah.
Because they said that they were unaware that their son was alone. They assumed that the relative was already there picking up their kid.
That's lunacy, man. Like one of you as a parent forgoes your trip and gets off and goes and sits with your kid. It's obviously going to be the husband because the mom is not missing this trip. I get it.
Right. Well, it is unknown whether or not these parents are facing any charges, but it's incredibly sad to me that they thought that, you know what, this is okay.
Do we know where they were going?
No, I don't know.
Somewhere out of the country.
Somewhere out of the country.
Like if it's Mexico, you put them in jail. If it's Europe, you go, I get it. Uplifting WayFM. This is the Wally Show. We're going to do a little boo, yay, your weekend, where you give us a story. We'll go around the room, give you a boo or a yay, and you want to get more yays than boos about your story. And sometimes we're booing for you, though, because it was a bad weekend, or we're just super jealous of yours. So I'll start off with mine, and let me finish the whole thing until you boo or yay me, especially Betty. Okay. So I got to be an amateur first responder this weekend. Said this is killing her because right now she wants to boo right out of the gate. But there might even be a yay at the end of this, okay?
Okay.
So I'm at my niece's house, and we're taking her to Alabama where she goes to school, Roll Tide, okay? So she's in a new place. I'm having to set up like furniture for her and stuff like this because her father had passed away. And so I'm kind of like the building guy. And so in there moving stuff, I'm in the other room building stuff, and she's building a chair, and I hear her go, oh, ow, oh man, that really hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm bleeding bad. And so my wife and my sister-in-law were in that room, and they're like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm bleeding everywhere. And so I'm in the other room. This is like my call. This is the bat signal of an amateur first responder. I hate blood, though. So I get up and I go rushing in there. Mm-hmm. Somehow, the chair she is putting together, something has gone awry, the piston in it or whatever, and it's hit her in the eye, above her eye, and split her eye.
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, and it is. She's not lying. There's blood everywhere, and so it's a head wound, and so they bleed a lot. And sometimes they're not all that bad. And so I rush into action. I'm like, okay, we need a towel stat. And so somebody goes and gets me a towel. I don't even know who it was. I just know that there was a towel there. I'm like, we need ice as well. So I'm like, are you going to pass out? Are you good? She's like, I think I'm okay. And then I said, okay. So I'm like, let's get the bleeding stopped. So I put direct pressure on her. I said, is that ice here yet? We need that ice. Ice comes over. Put ice on the back of her neck, kind of just to calm her down, cool her down, because she was getting all really hot and flustered. And so then I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and lay you down just for fun, just so you don't like start to go, because sometimes your body will do that. And so lay her down. She's there. We get the bleeding stopped, and I walk out of the room and like we're good. And then I walk out of the room and I sit down and I get lightheaded.
That's awesome.
I just snapped into first responder mode to help her make sure she was good. Then when it all was over, I'm like, I don't like blood. And I was really hot. I'd been sweating and like everything was working against me.
Can I give my reaction now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to give you a yay.
Yeah, I know why.
Now, the reason being, I would have given you a boo had it all worked out and you would be like, and I am an awesome amateur first responder.
Yeah.
But you getting lightheaded and fainting when you weren't even hurt in any way gives me that yay.
That's why I told you to wait to the end. I know you.
It keeps you humble.
Yes. Gavin?
I think the humbled part is what I like about this, is that it reminds you that like you do this amateurly, not professionally.
Yeah. Well, I think what the thing for me was it reminded me that I'm human, you know, because a lot of times as an amateur first responder, you tend to think that you are bigger than the situation. Yeah, all of us do. And it reminded me that I'm just a small, humble servant in this thing that is human and can be affected as well. So there you go. That's mine. 855-33-WAY-FM. We got time for a couple here. 855-33-WAY-FM. What happened for your weekend? And we'll give you a boo or yay. It's Boo Yay Your Weekend on The Wally Show on WAY-FM. What do you got?
So this weekend, we used the weekend to be landscapers, my husband and I. We have a property that's a vacant lot, and then we have our backyard. So we took our 13-year-old son, and we took him with us to ask him if he wanted to earn $20 to help us do the yard work out there in the vacant lot. Taught him how to use the tractor and the pusher, and away we went for a couple of hours, came home and did the same thing to our backyard, and he earned $10 extra for using the lawnmower in the backyard. So that was our landscaping weekend.
Well, I'm going to give you a yay for parenting here, okay? Because a couple things. One, you can make your kid do things, obviously. And hey, and maybe you should have just made him do it to be part of the family. But you also taught him the value of hard work and reward. Like, that's kind of what we do every day, is you go to work and you get paid for your work. And so I think to teach him that responsibility of putting in and earning and feeling good about what you've accomplished to make money, I think is a really good lesson.
And Lizette, I'm going to give you a yay as well, but a boo for your son, because here's the thing. It's a yay for you when you know you can get yard work done for free.
Yeah.
You just get him in and he'll do it. And it's a boo for him because he's got to do it for free.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Monday School is a chance for Wally to share what he learned at church and prove that he went.
Ironically, I did not go. I was driving back from Alabama.
Sinner!
I know. How was your church, Rock?
Sinner!
Yeah, that's what I thought. You didn't go either, did you?
No, I did. I had to help with the kids. So.
Oh, yeah, that's so weird that they like only have like one service and she helps with the kids, and so she misses all the serving and tithing.
No, well, no. No, I don't. So mine is automatically taken out.
Okay, good for you.
But also I take it out of my my I think we talked about this, my card, so that I can get points for it off Amazon.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is about you missing church. Okay,
exactly. All right, so Gavin is going to cover us for Monday School
and
today.
Ironically, I never went to the building for church.
What is wrong with all of you?
But I watched online.
Okay, good.
I watched online.
So I'm the only one that went to the building.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So at our church, for the last couple of months, we've been studying the life of the Apostle Paul, a man who was responsible for a lot of growth in the early church. But as we finished out this series, we focused on the actual early church that kind of was kicked off on the day of Pentecost. Do you guys ever like thinking of the day of Pentecost? It feels like a wild day because they talk about like fire descending on this group of people.
Yeah.
These people are speaking in tongues.
Yeah,
and
the
then
Holy Spirit showing up and showing out.
all this stuff happened. My this actually did lead to me finding a new favorite verse, though, because you had a lot of people who were seeing all those people speaking in tongues, and they're like, these people are going crazy.
Yeah.
Then Peter gets up, addresses people, and says, these people are not drunk as you suppose.
Yeah.
It's just
I would've thought that.
He says, it's 9 a.m, guys.
Yeah.
But I love what you get from the day of Pentecost is it leads into kind of this illustration of the early church in Acts 2, and you read about how they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, sold their possessions to give to those in need. They broke bread in their homes, and they ate together. So you have the early church, which now acts as a blueprint for God's church today. They dedicated themselves to 5 things: worship, ministry, fellowship, discipleship, and evangelism. And it's really cool because we as a church today get to look at this blueprint and see something that we get to measure our lives up against. Worship is a reaction to what God's done for you. Ministry is what you're doing for those around you. Fellowship is for us here nowadays getting to engage in a small group, maybe launching a book club at your church.
That's me.
Like Betty did. Discipleship. I was thinking about this. You've done a lot of discipleship at this company, Wally. You've got 2 disciples over here. on
Wait
this
a
side
minute.
of the-
Don't include me in
Gavin.
that.
And then evangelism, we were referencing the Great Commission where God said, go out and make, or Jesus said, go out and make disciples of all nations. And my pastor, or our pastor, emphasized the non-question mark, or the if you're able to element of that, leaning into how much of a calling that is, as opposed to a
suggestion.
A suggestion,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Man, sorry I missed the last episode of that. It's like watching a series all the way to the end and then missing the final episode. But I do like that. It is interesting, though, to me, how different the early church is from what it's become today. A lot of those tenets are in the modern church, which is a good thing. But then we shroud it with entertainment, to make it palatable to who we are today. But the early church was about feeding people and telling them about Jesus.
And doing it all the time, too.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to ask yourself, are you a Christian on Sundays?
Sunday, yeah.
And then go back to your normal life, 6 days and 23 hours of the week? Or are you truly taking what you learn at church and living it out 24/7?
Yep, there you go. Well, that's going to do it for your Monday school, Gavin. Thanks for covering me today. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. This is really exciting because we have Cheryl on with us, and you might not know Cheryl's name, but you're going to know all about Cheryl in a hot second because Cheryl is helping us kick off Support Drive with a pre-Support Drive challenge to the tune of $20,000. Cheryl, that's amazing. Did I get that right? Is it $20,000?
At least that, right?
It would be a bad time for Cheryl to go, no, I said 200. But no, Cheryl, thank you for your generosity to kind of help us kick this off and joining our Inspiration Fund and inspiring other people to give to this ministry to keep it going. So how did you get involved with Way FM?
My journey of being a supporter has definitely morphed over the years. In the beginning, it was strictly believing wholeheartedly in the power of praise and worship songs, always believing that there was a right song at the right time for everyone.
You are right about the right song at the right time. I hear that so many times, and that's part of the ministry that we do here. But then when you support this ministry, you're also making sure that people get free Bibles. I would imagine that's important to you as well.
Oh, yeah. I had a wonderful experience at your station in Franklin, preparing Bibles that were going to go out to those that needed them. So that was a special moment.
Yeah, and then we got the prayer wall, and that lets people have access 24/7 to people praying for each other. And so those are just a few of the things that you make happen when you support the ministry of Way FM, just like Cheryl's choosing to do. So we're doing this $20,000 challenge. This is a big deal because what we're doing is we're asking for 100 people to get involved with Way FM at $20 a month or a single gift of $250 to kick off Support Drive, to give us that head start as we go into it. And we can't thank you enough, Cheryl, for your kindness and your generosity. What would you say to somebody who maybe hasn't supported the ministry of Way FM before? Why is it important?
We all can't go out and do all the neat stuff that you do, Wally, or we can't do Bibles and respond to prayer walls. But if we do give we're part of being on that mission with you.
Oh, you totally get it, girl. And we can't do what we do without you and people like you. So thank you for working and partnering with us together and hopefully making a difference in people's lives and introducing them to Jesus or having them reconnect with their faith. You are the best. We want to do this up. We'd love to see 100 people get involved at $20 a month or a single gift of $250 or 200. Let's go nuts. Let's see if we can't smash Cheryl's challenge here. She's throwing down the gauntlet. I don't want to cross her. You can simply text GIVE to 91979 or go to wayfm.com if you want to be part of this $20,000 pre-drive challenge. Let's get this thing knocked out. Cheryl, thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity.
Oh, sure, Wally. Thank you so much for letting me share my little story with you guys, too.
Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
Hey, just remember, they are trying their best.
You know what? I am not going to give up that easy.
It's news-ish
I'm going to make this way harder than it needs to be.
on The Wally Show.
So Justin Timberlake has been taking some heat online for his lackluster performance during concerts. That's a bop, huh?
What'd
Good
you do
time.
that for?
It's supposed to sound like this. Yeah, people noticed like he looked like he wasn't even trying. He'd half-heartedly walk across the stage, let the crowd sing a bunch of it. You sing, you know. And people just felt they weren't getting their money's worth in what they paid for his concert, so they took to online to take him out. Well, it looks like there's a medical explanation to what's
Justin.
going on.
He's getting old.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Justin Timberlake announced that he was diagnosed with Lyme disease.
What?
Yes.
What is it with everybody getting Lyme disease? Like, I feel like all the pops, Avril Lavigne had
Yeah.
Lyme disease.
You travel a lot and
There's
maybe...
somebody- yeah, but it has to do with getting a tick.
Yeah, you get a tick. And we'll get to the tick part of this in a minute. But yeah, he basically got diagnosed with this. Nearly 500,000 people have it in the United States. I have 2 friends that have it.
Really?
I have one friend that went
What in the
got
world?
paralyzed almost and
What?
just went down on a flight. She was a flight attendant. And then she spent like 9 months recovering.
I
What
lived
in
out in the boonies. I got tick bites all the time. They were in my bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one stuck in my belly button
Yeah.
once, and that one was a fight to the finish. I don't have any Lyme disease.
That you know of, because it can lay dormant. Did you
No,
know this?
I didn't
yes.
know that.
Oh, you have it. You
Oh,
definitely
dang
have it. It can lay dormant and then it
Don't
shows
touch me.
up out. Yeah, get away. Unclean. Unclean.
How do I know if I have it?
You'll get like a rash sometimes, like a bullseye rash, fatigue, tired.
So
You're
I'm
always
always
tired.
Yeah.
You might have it, Rock. It manifests
Oh, no.
itself differently for people.
You do have energy stuff.
I know. Timberlake said if you've experienced this disease or know someone that has it, you're aware that living with this can be relentlessly debilitating both mentally and physically. When I first got diagnosed, I was shocked, but at least I understand why I would be on stage with a massive amount of pain and feeling crazy, fatigue, or sickness. It explains the audio, too, that I had heard. Like, when somebody had posted something when he was doing one of his shows, and you can hear, like, a stage guy talking to him, and he goes, "No, I'm good. I can continue." And you go, "Oh, okay." So he was obviously dealing with something.
See, here's the thing. We jump to conclusions
I
and we
know.
just assume that he's not putting in the work when really
I know.
he's ailing.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. His post about the diagnosis received hundreds of thousands of likes and comments. comments. Now he's loved again by the same people who wanted to bury him 24 hours earlier. So it just goes to show that jumping to conclusions and going off half-cocked without all the information is not fair to people, and that's what the internet does every day, except when I do it. It's not fair except when I do it, because I've well thought it out.
Geez.
Yeah, so it's transmitted, as Betty was talking about, by tick bites. Here's the interesting thing, too. In most cases, the tick has to be attached to you for at least 24 hours
Been
so
there.
that can be... Betty, been there. I had one on me so long and named it Ralph.
I miss him to this day.
Oh, he's still with you, Queen Lime.
I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say.
Uplifting Way FM, this is The Wally Show, and that is Forrest Frank, who burst onto the Christian scene with Good Day. I mean, and then burst onto the scene yet again by cracking his back really good while he was riding a skateboard with his kid, breaking his L3 and L4 vertebrae. And then while he was in his bed recovering, he decided to write a song.
God's got my back. Even when I fall, look at it there. God's got my back.
And like, the ability to do that while you're laid up in bed is pretty impressive. Or does it make you go, is it that easy? You know, like, oh, okay. But then now Forrest has another big announcement. It's like the announcements with Forrest Frank around this back thing just keep coming.
Do you want to tell him? What do you mean? I'll tell him. Guys, so I broke my back exactly 2 weeks ago. It's today day 14. Got an x-ray and a CAT scan. It showed that I had multiple fractures. Could not move an inch without. I wake up today, forget to put on my back brace, just start doing the morning. I pick Bodie up, and then I realize, wait, I'm not wearing my brace. What is going on? I'm wearing my brace right now for precaution. Order an urgent x-ray, go get the x-ray. I have complete healing in my back. I have no fractures in my back. No sign of a fracture in my back. So, praise God. We saw a miracle.
If you're him or his wife, you hear how giddy she is in the back, too. It's like, finally, you can start helping around here again. 2 weeks of me waiting on you hand and foot. No, but I mean, when you worry about somebody and then all of a sudden something that you think is going to be this lifelong, probably problem for you and constant back pain is something you don't mess with. The backs are a nightmare. And so to see healing in that, you've got to be beside yourself excited about that, you know?
Yeah, and I'm glad that he has a platform where he can showcase God's ability.
It is interesting because, you know, because of this story, his story got bigger and went way outside of like the Christian world, you know, which is great. And then the follow-ups of him going, God healed me. That's a big story. But it's hard when that story you see not play out the same way with other people that are just as influential, and you watch their lives not go that way, that you watch cancer take them,
right,
you know?
It's difficult not to compare your path with someone else.
And it's hard because you're like, all right, God, what are you doing up there, you know? And this is a win for Forrest and his wife, for sure. This is a win for Faith, too. But then on the other side of that, it's where we don't see the whole picture, and you're kind of like, oh, I'm sad that this wasn't the story from my friend Gabe, who's just as godly and has a family, and you wanted it to go that way for him. And so it's real easy to question God's not motives, but his actions or inactions. And that still messes with me to this day. So while I'm happy for Forrest, there's still a part of me that it raises a question on.
Right.
You know, and that's not healthy. Maybe that's just me being, you know, me.
That's just you being human.
Yeah, maybe
All
so.
of us are human.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this, okay? 855-33-WAY-FM. I'm curious, do you have that story where you saw God show up in something that is not explained any other way than God? You got that healing or whatever. Because I do believe God heals. I do, you know? I just don't know when. And for who and how, you know, and stuff. And so maybe you sharing your story of God stepping in and giving you that healing that you had prayed for might be something that encourages somebody else. But then at the same time, I'm like cautionary, going, look, he doesn't heal everybody. So while I want you to be positive and optimistic about it, I also don't want you to be super bummed if it doesn't go that way.
Keep an open mind.
I know that's so.
Open
This
heart.
is a really full disclosure. This is a really hard conversation for me to have. Okay, and so maybe this whole thing is to grow my faith as well. So let's have you share your story with us now. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours right now. Have you ever experienced something like that where, God just stepped in?
I have. I had miraculous healing of my PTSD, anxiety, and depression.
Oh, no, that's pretty impressive because a lot of people struggle with this, and it's not a physical thing like you can't see an arm be mended, and it's much more difficult to ascertain. So what happened? How did you get it? How do you know you were free of it?
I have struggled with complex PTSD and anxiety and depression pretty much my whole life from a ridiculously young age. And I got saved about 3 years ago, and I was working with like a mentor in the church, and I started to go on a vacation to a place that was going to be very triggering for me. And I was really struggling with it, and I was looking for like a therapist, and I called my mentor, and she was like, well, if I pray for you that you're healed of these things, do you believe that'll happen? And I was like, no, that's like, I know it's documented in the Bible, but that doesn't happen anymore. It's not a real thing.
Thank you for your honesty on that, because I think my answer would have been the same thing. Like, okay, do I really believe? Do I believe it's possible? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen for me? No.
Exactly. And so then we went over some Bible verses, and she kind of explained to me that half of the healing is like believing that God is going to do it. You can't pray for it and then wait for it to happen. You have to pray for it and live believing that it has already happened. And at the end of it, she asked me again, she was like, if I pray for you for healing, do you believe that healing will be yours? And I was like, yeah, I do. And so she prayed for me, and from that day, not once have I been triggered, not once have I had like an extreme depressive or anxiety episode. There's still times where I get sad, there's still times when I am anxious about something, but I don't live with anxiety or depression or PTSD.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm so glad that's your story. I really am, because it's debilitating, as you well know, for people. And I feel for people that are still stuck in that. And maybe part of it is believing that he's got the healing all ready to go. I hate to be the cautionary tale here. It's like if someone isn't healed in that way, because God doesn't heal everybody. I mean, think about all the people that Jesus walked past when he was on the earth to heal one person. Healing wasn't everyone's story. But that doesn't mean that they're a bad person or their faith is weak, because that's just not everybody's story of healing. But I am glad that it was yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just part of your testimony.
So, Kathy, have you ever experienced that healing power of God?
I'm a very bad asthmatic, and I was in the hospital on the respirator and life support, had been on life support and the respirator for 2 weeks, and they told my family that I would never come out of the coma. If I did, I'd be a vegetable to go ahead and pull the plug on me. So they went downstairs, get something to drink, drink some coffee and discuss what they're going to do. Came back upstairs, and I was sitting up in the bed drinking coffee.
And then were you like, all right, which one of you was going to pull the plug? I want names. I need receipts. That's crazy. So were you aware of things going on around you, or did they tell you all of this?
Well, they told me I have been on life support 3 times. I've been jump-started back 8 times. I've actually coded 8 times. I said, I'm not ready to go yet.
Wow, that's amazing. You're either like the person that God's not finished with, and he's like, you got so much more to do there, or he's like, we are not ready for her up here. Like, she's a lot,
I said, right now I'm helping to raise 3 great-grandbabies, and I have a total of 20 great-grandbabies. I'm grandma to everybody. Half the people don't even know my name. They just know me as grandma.
Well, that is amazing, and what a legacy you're leaving behind when you actually do go, if you ever do. Like, we don't even know if you're ever really going to die.
It's probably a shock to everybody. She's dead? Are you sure?
Yes, exactly.
Are you positive this time?
I don't know that I would ever be sure with you. So we're talking about those times in your life where you felt the power of God, the healing power of God.
Yes. When I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with childhood leukemia. I was in the hospital, and they told my family to say goodbye, that I probably wouldn't make it through the night. We had a couple in our church that they went to our denominational convention, and they stood in front of the convention and had the whole convention pray for me. my dad at the time was not a real strong believer. Not long after that, one night, I went to sleep and I woke up and I sat straight up in bed. I said, well, Jesus was here last night and I'm all better. And there was no signs. The leukemia was in my bone marrow and my lymph nodes, and I haven't had any signs of leukemia since then.
That is crazy. How old are you now?
I am. It's not nice to ask a lady her age.
Well, I understand that, but it's kind of important to the story.
I'm 56 now.
56 now. So you were 4. So 52 years cancer-free and no problems ever again coming from that.
No problems.
Did you see this like strengthen your dad's faith and people's faith around you?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I heard you say earlier that, you know, you're always cautious when you talk about healing.
Yeah.
And I am very cautious when I share my testimony because there are so many babies that God doesn't heal for whatever reason.
That's the thing. I think why I'm so cautious is there are a lot of people that live in that space where healing is not going to be the thing that happens for them. And when it doesn't, and they hear stories of other people being healed, it's like, well, why not me? Was I not enough?
Exactly.
Was my faith not big enough yet? And I'm like, I don't think that's the case. I watched one of the most godly men I've ever met in my life die from cancer, and he had faith all the way to the end that God was going to heal him. And then when he didn't, the people around him that really believed that was going to be the story, it messed with them, and it still messes with them, you know?
Yeah.
I was hopeful, but I wasn't the person that believed that was going to be the story because I never know when God's going to do or not do something.
You know, God has a reason for everything, and I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why God chose to heal me and not somebody else. But,
That's true.
You know, we cannot lose faith, even when he doesn't answer exactly the way we want to, because he's sovereign.
Who's excited to find out what's going on today?
It's that woo-woo.
It's News-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
When you're at the office, there's an assumed code to the food you should and shouldn't eat at work. One here at the office, don't eat Betty's food.
Don't.
If it's in the fridge, because she'll talk about it for 5-6 years after the fact.
And rightfully so. I'm glad you brought it up.
Oh,
It was
why'd you bring it up?
fall morning.
Even if you think it could be Betty's food, don't eat it. I mean, the general rule of thumb is if you didn't bring it in, don't eat it.
That's just
and
normal.
my name was on it.
It's normal etiquette, and if that code is upheld at work, then it should be gospel on an airplane. I actually came across what has been titled the 3 commandments of eating on an airplane.
Okay.
They literally has thou shalt. So the first one, kind of similar to being at work, thou shalt not eat smelly foods. Now at work, I don't like the smell of the fish. I'll pop out into the back and deal with it later. Can't do that on a plane.
No, the person that like makes fish in the microwave at work, you got to question a lot of their life choices.
They said thou shalt not eat messy foods, including things like ribs, powdered donuts.
Yes, they go everywhere.
It's going to fly. It's going to contaminate the air. It's a lot for them to clean up afterwards.
Now, I will say I've never seen anybody get on a flight with ribs. I have seen people get on with tacos. That's a messy food. I've seen people get on flights with like full like hamburger meals and things like that.
Gavin, does it say anything about weird people that come in with a can of SpaghettiOs?
Man,
no, that's contained.
On the plane?
That was going to be ingenious, and I'm still waiting on them to change the rules and rule that is not a liquid, because when I do, it's going to change the way people travel.
Oh, that's awesome. And then the last one was thou shalt not eat foods with allergens. I hadn't thought too much about this. A bag of peanuts or a packet of like peanut butter. That's what I'm kind of thrown off by. It's like it's safer them, but in this enclosed area, the ability for that stuff. I've never heard of somebody passing away on a plane because they smelled my bag of peanuts.
I know, but again, it's so weird. Like, I used to be like super suspect of this, of like people just being problematic. I'll be honest. I'm serious. I did. Like, it's like, come on, guys, are you serious? Like,
yeah, you're gonna have an asthma attack. Get over it. Walk it off.
Like, how bad is it? And then I talked to like some moms and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, if peanut anything even gets near my kid, they go into anaphylactic shock. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm being selfish. I get it. But, like, they always make that announcement, too. If somebody has it really bad, you should tell the airline so the airline can tell people on board. And then, sure, you're going to get some eye rolls, but then everyone's like, all right, fine, we'll have Cheez-Its today. They should have a better option. If you can't have peanuts, like, who cares about peanuts?
I have a gluten intolerance. carrots, no Cheez-Its.
All right, fine. Let's press out fresh food. I can't be near seeds on strawberries. For the love! Can we just give me a Twinkie? That has nothing real in it at all. I'm gluten-free. No! It's a miracle we can eat anything. Yeah, it's a miracle you can eat anything on a plane, to be honest with you. But I do understand. I say that calmly because I do understand that's a very, very important thing so that people will not email me all day long about my insensitivities.
Wally at wayfm.com.
Nope, not at all. My wife likes to give me just random information sometimes. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. She's like, oh, the fair's starting Saturday. I'm like, great. We haven't been to a fair in I don't know how many years. Why is this pertinent information? So then I ask follow-up questions. Oh, do you have a friend that's doing something at the fair that we need to go support, like a booth? Or no. Are you craving elephant ears and funnel cakes? No. Okay. Why the fair? Oh, I just saw it. Okay, thanks for that. I appreciate that. And at the same time, I had the thought, I'm like, I am so glad I never have to go to the fair again. Like, until I guess I have grandkids and then I'll get drugged to it. But like when my daughter, I loved the fair as a kid.
Yeah.
It was the greatest. Oh my goodness. The Palm Beach County Fair when I grew up was fantastic. And it was great all the way through like my teenage years. And then you get to be an adult and then you're paying for everything. And you're like, this is nuts.
I want that much money for that?
Yeah, exactly. I paid a lot of money. The least you should do is tighten all the bolts on the rides, you know? Like you watching bolts back off as you're riding. You know, as a kid, you're like, this could be fun. As an adult, you're like, I might not walk away from this. And then you overpay for food. I mean, it's nuts. And I really was. In that moment when she brought this up, I was so thankful that I never have to go to the fair again.
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's kind of surprising to me because it seems like the place where you would flourish.
I know. But it's just, I don't like spending that much money for cotton candy.
Yeah, but I think that there are multiple places like that for people for different reasons.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, is there a place that I'm happy I don't have to go to again?
Church? No.
That was not
know.
funny.
Maybe
you pause. That's the problem.
I
You
know.
pause.
I know. Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
for you, it might be the last day you work with him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's true. You might be like, I'm so glad I never have to go back there again.
Amen.
And that could be tomorrow. Who knows?
You never know.
You're doing or mine. We don't know. All right. So let's fill in the blank here with you right now. All right. As you think about it. So mine is the fair. Okay. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Fill in this blank. I'm glad I never have to go to blank again. Okay, where is that blank you're going to fill in? 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours right now. Where's that place that you're glad you never have to go back to again?
It's not a place, it's a thing. Claw machines are off limits for my kids when I bring them to anywhere with claw machines.
See, and I was just the opposite. I loved claw machines. Like, I still think I can
love
win.
claw machines.
I know. And I was trying to win a bluey animal for my daughter at 26 years old at like a Dave & Buster's the other day, and I was not able to do it. And I used to be so good at the claw machine.
I don't know if anyone really can be good at the claw machine. I feel like they just don't make it that way.
Well, so I'm going to tell y'all something. I know a millionaire that owns several claw machines, and they are set like casino slot machines. Even if you grab it perfectly, it's not a guarantee you're going to win.
Oh, man, that makes so much sense now, because you grab it, you watch it going over, and then the claw, like, it loses all motor skills, and it just goes limp and drops it. So if they can set the tension of the claw to every 12th time or 200th time to not go limp, then that makes sense that they would actually be winning. The house always wins, I guess. Well, Chris, thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thank you, guys. I'm a supporter, and I do donate monthly.
Oh, you're the best, man. That's awesome. Dude, we appreciate that. Can't do this without you. Which reminds me, we just kicked off our pre-support drive challenge that Kathy put up. $20,000, and to unlock that, we're looking for just 100 people to do $20 a month or a single gift of $250. That's going to count towards this challenge and give us a head start as we move into support drive. If you want to get involved and you love the ministry of Way FM, like Chris, all you have to do is text GIVE to 91979, or you can go to wayfm.com. Where is it that you are glad you never have to go back to again?
I'm glad I don't have to go back to work again, Wally.
Did you retire?
I retired actually in 22, but I've been busy. Actually going to play golf right now with my Bible study group, so it's all good, Wally.
Oh, you just hit on something. That's what I should do. I should tell my wife, hey, look, honey, if I can retire, I could do a men's Bible study, because they always do it in the morning, like when I'm on air.
Yep.
It's affecting my spiritual life.
Yep.
Like, this could be healthy for me.
Yep.
Like, I should retire and join a men's Bible study and play
you
golf.
retire. Wait, it just hit me that if you retire, that means I got to find another job. So
Yeah.
hold on.
Betty Rock's retiring!
No, let's think about it first. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. It's what your People magazine would sound like with a Southern accent. It's the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
Imagine, if you will, you're out in the woods and you hear faint yelling or repeated cries. Would that kind of freak you out?
I would, especially at night. But then I'm curious enough where I would have to go see what it is.
You're that person in the scary movies that goes down into the basement and we're screaming at the screen, don't go into the basement.
Because I gotta know. And I gotta know if it's something that needs my help. Yeah, I mean, it's just a helper.
Well, thankfully, that's not what happened to this group of people. They were out in the woods camping and they kept hearing faint yelling and repeated cries. So they decided to call 911. They sent out a search and rescue team.
I have my own search and rescue team.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So anyways, the search and rescue team, they get out there in this remote hiking and camping area out in the middle of nowhere, okay? And they're hearing it as well. They're following the cries, the yells, and they're thinking someone needs their help. Well, it turns out they find out it's a guy that's camping on his own.
Okay.
And he's listening to Nickleback music
of course.
out loud and singing out loud.
But so it sounds like desperation.
I don't know, bad singing. But he was singing to songs like these.
Look at this photograph, and someone makes me laugh.
Or this one.
Someday, somehow, I'm gonna make it alright, but not right now.
How embarrassing for this poor guy to have all these rescuers show up and be like, sir, we're coming to get you. We're coming to get you. And he's just singing at the top of his lungs.
I mean, you could have, just to tell him that you have a terrible singing voice.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the shame is already there, okay? Yeah. So they didn't need to do this. First responders did take to their social media. And they did say to the crew that called 911, thank you for calling, because it could have been a serious situation. But they had to add in there, they said, quote, our services are always free, and the money you save could be spent on singing lessons.
Parting shot, throwing shade at the end. You know what, though? I mean, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something, I guess. Oh, that poor guy. I feel bad because I can see that happening to me. I think he's all alone. He's primitive camping. He's by himself. This is where he gets to pretend he is Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, and he's wooing the crowd only to be humiliated because of an echo, you know? Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and Betty Lucifer has something for you.
Okay.
What? It's just a little pet name I have for you.
I don't like that pet name.
Betty Lou.
There you go.
It works for fur.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It's a stretch. There is nothing that gets me angrier. Than hearing someone refer to their husband as hubby.
She does. That bothers her.
It drives me crazy.
She even goes, hubby.
I don't know. And they're like, well, my hubby the other day was just like, OMG.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Anyways, I know everybody has different pet names for their significant others. I found recently that the top one used is Babe, which is what you and your wife use.
Yep.
We always, you a lot, make fun of how your wife says it.
Babe. 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 Yeah.
The second most popular is Honey.
No, it doesn't call me that.
Followed by Baby.
No, just Babe. Babe. Gavin, what does Haley call you?
I think it's normally Babe.
Does she say it like, Babe?
It's like Babe or you.
Yeah. You're still here?
Do y'all call your wives something?
My wife, I call her D, or I call her Pants. That's the one I call her the most is
That
Pants.
is very unique.
Yeah, because her name's Mar D, so I call her D, D-I, but the main one I call her is Pants. Then everyone will be like, why did you just call your wife Pants? Because I used to call her Smarty Marty Pants when we were dating.
Shortened.
Yeah, and then it got to be Pants, and then when if she's feeling saucy or like Spanish, I call her Pantalones. So.
And you think that's so unique. My best friend, her mom's name is Nancy, and so we call her Pants.
Smarty Pants, Nancy Pants.
And so we call her Nancy Pants, and sometimes we do call her Pantalones.
Exactly. So that's what I can't believe, and that you even go with the Pantalones. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this. Odd pet names for your boo, okay? So Babe, the number one off the table there. But what is an odd one, kind of like Pants, that maybe people don't see coming or you have to explain? Would love to get yours right now. 855-33-WAY-FM or Betty Lucifer, like however you...
No, that's not.
That's mine for you.
Well, I don't like it.
It's super cute. No. 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. What are those pet names you have for your husband? Because Betty Lou cannot stand hubby.
Yeah, like they're like, well, my hubby, the other day, he said the funniest thing. I'm like, oh, please stop.
So what's yours for your husband or his for you?
So we've been married 41 years, and early on, we became husbear and wife bear.
Woo!
So I'm WB and he's HB. And whenever one of us gets in a bad mood, which doesn't happen much anymore, but it used to, somebody will go open a door, a car door, or a window and say, bye-bye, Mrs. Grouchy Bear, or bye-bye, Mr. Grouchy Bear. And it works great to diffuse anger and frustration.
I love it.
I didn't think I could find anything that made me more mad than hubby, but I think Hub Bear just might have done it.
I had a feeling it would.
Yeah. What is that pet nickname that you have for your wife?
I call her MQ, which is shortened from years ago. I started calling her Madam Queen.
Smart man.
Does she like this nickname?
Yes, she does.
What does she call you?
Peasant. So what's yours, Missy?
My husband calls me Scooter.
Okay, how'd you get Scooter?
I'm in a wheelchair. I've been in a wheelchair most of my life, and that's just the nickname. He'll say, "You ready to go, Scooter?" And
Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I love it. And he almost called his brother Scooter one time, and I was like, "No, that's my name."
It's good to see that you have a sense of humor about it. Like if some random person had called you Scooter, it would have been like offensive. Here's what's interesting. Does anyone else call you Scooter, like in your family? Like, because sometimes a nickname gets so prevalent, but like my wife Marty doesn't like it if someone calls her Pants, because that's my nickname for her, Pants. And so it's weird if someone else calls her that. Is it weird if someone else calls you Scooter?
It would be, but I have a best friend from high school. Her and her boyfriend, they call me Wheels.
Okay, well, I see a theme.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.